Hey guys, welcome back to Redstone 101. I'm McBuckets110. Today we're talking about repeaters and comparators. I've grouped these two together because there are some similarities in how they function, some differences, but there's some similar principles. The most important one being that they both function kind of as diodes. They have some sides that are inputs, and then some that are output. Just one that is an output. Both only output through the front. So we're going to talk about that right here. It kind of show a little bit how this works with repeaters. For example, if I power these repeaters in the back, they turn off the torches. If I power ahead of the repeater, the signal does not go back through. That's what it means if one of these is a diode. They both kind of have that property, though it works a little different. For comparators, I guess we'll go over the difference here. Repeaters, whatever the signal strength is, will output the full 15 signal strength on their front, even if it's just a signal strength of one behind them. Comparators do not work that way. Comparators output the same signal that's behind them. This allows us to make pulse extenders like this, because the signal here will repeat here, it'll decay down one, then go through this comparator, and continue in a loop until you get 0 as your signal strength, and there's nothing more to read. But I want to finish up repeaters before getting too deep into comparators. But when it comes to diode function, they both, because of those quirks, kind of have, they have different front and back end usability. Now, okay, the final important repeater details. One is that all repeaters have a bit of delay. By default, all repeaters have a 0.1 second or 2 game tick delay on them. So these repeaters delay approximately, right about 0.2 seconds. I think that's actually more exact than I'm saying it is. To increase this delay per repeater, all you have to do is right-click it, and you'll see the little torch on there moves. Now this will have a 4 game tick delay, or a 0.2 second delay on just this repeater. You keep clicking, it adds 2 game ticks per click, or I think redstone ticks are like, this would be like 1 redstone tick, but I'm just gonna say 2 game ticks. That's what's on the wiki. That's how they have it down, and that's gonna be probably the least confusing way to say it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. One's just 1 tick. 2 game ticks. Each click adds 2 game ticks. So if I go and I flick this, there's a significant delay. The next thing is that you can lock repeaters from the side as long as you are hard powering them. For example, if you take a repeater, you can lock the repeater off. If there's a signal going in, you can lock it on. If it's locked, the power state, whether it's emitting on or off, will not change. You unlock it, and then it'll go to whatever is actually being inputted into the repeater in the back end. The side inputs on repeaters really only do the lock function. So they're only marginally important, in my opinion. You're not really going to use that all the time. Yeah, that's just kind of, I think that's that. Now comparators. We went over the pulse extender part, but let's get into, well, I guess everything else. Comparators, one function that's very important is that comparators can, as I said earlier, read a block. In this case, we're reading comparators, which have inventories or slots. every single one of these that's filled outputs signal. In this case, 1, because one slot is toggled or filled. This would work with pretty much any block that has inventory, and a few other blocks that have varying block states. And I'm just not going to list them all here because it would take a ton of time to actually go through the details on all of them. And that's what the Minecraft wiki is for. And for some of these blocks, when I go over them, like in the Redstone 101, like the crafter, I might do a little bit of like, oh, hey, by the way, here's how these work with comparators. Because anytime you're using a crafter, you're probably going to be using a comparator. But that's going to get its own, in those episodes, it's going to get its own dedicated segment. Though, note, comparators can read through one block the block that they're trying to read. Now, there's a couple more things to note with comparators, and that is the subtract functionality and what I would like to call the gate functionality, because it's not really an add functionality. So let's input a signal through the side. Let's do 5. With the comparator in its default state, now with this signal coming in the side, it would work with this side as well. This will not power on until the signal being read through the back is higher than the signal coming in through the side. Right now, that's 5. So if I have 3, it doesn't turn on. Increase it to 6. Now it's going to output a signal strength of 6. Once it exceeds that, it will just output that signal. It won't just output a signal strength of 1. There will be no adding going on. So I wouldn't call it an add. This is why I call it the gate. It's not quite an AND or an OR gate or anything like that. It's more of a value gate, I guess. If it doesn't get over that value, it doesn't cut through. Now, let's get into the subtract comparator. You toggle it once with right click, and it'll switch into subtract mode. Now, either side works, but we're going to use this side. The requirement is it has to be hard-powered. So if this is a soft-powered block, the comparator is not going to notice anything. But hard-powered, you have a comparator, a redstone dust, a repeater, or anything that will apply a direct redstone signal into the side, that will work. Where was I? Yes, subtracting. So we have a signal strength of 6 in here. If I put a 1 in here, now we're outputting a signal strength of 5. The comparator will subtract whatever is coming in the side from what's coming in the back. So if I have 5 in here, it'll only output a signal strength of 1. And if I output a signal strength of 6, it will shut off entirely, and no signal strength will come out. And that's pretty much how the subtract comparator works. If this goes up now, though, it'll turn on. And this is actually very useful in crafter functionality. In my opinion, at least. This allows you to say I wanted to like craft paper, let the sugarcane fill up, and then you go to the side and you set it so you have a signal strength of 8 here. It'll always, I should leave this to the crafter tutorial, but it's a good practical example. Then when this gets up to 9, say that's filling the sugarcane, it'll output a signal strength of 1. You put a block here, and then you can trigger the crafter with the rest of your circuit. But we'll get into that when we get there. I do think that is, however, about it for repeaters and comparators. Thanks for coming again to Redstone 101. If I missed anything, because I know comparators especially can be a bit convoluted, if there's a, feel free, like, why do comparators work this way? Feel free to ask. I think I got the basics, though. All the important basics. I hope to see you next time. Have a great day.